Hey, thanks for joining me to color. Today we're going to be doing this adorable A Day for Daisies digital image called Grown with Love. And this is for my Color Wednesday blog post from March 16th, 2016. I will put a link down in the description box to the little image if you'd like to head over and grab one and color along with me. And I've printed my image on Neenah 80-pound solar white cardstock. So let's color. So let's start out by outlining your image, and for that I'm going to use C0. Now I'm going to start right here at the bottom of her foot and go underneath of her dress, down to about right there because I'm going to put some grass in there. And then over here we want to go around our flower. So, and then let's do the girl. And you can make your outline as fat or as skinny as you'd like. I like to do it first, so in case I need to erase it, because I've colored on my image, I can do that without having to worry about any of my other coloring. I get right here in between those spaces between her hands. And we'll go up here and around to the other side. And there's a little space here in between the ribbon and her hair. And then we're just going to go come back down this way and to the bottom of her foot. Next, let's do her skin. For that, I'm just going to use E00, and I'm just going to give her legs down here a quick swipe. And then we'll go up here and get her hands. There's not much skin there, so we're keeping it pretty simple today. And then let's do this little dab behind her neck, or underneath of her hair, the back of her neck, and then we'll do her face. And then just to add a little bit of a shadow, I'm going to go up here underneath of her legs, and I'm going to give the back of each leg and the bottom just another small coat. And then we're going to do the bottom of her arm, and that will make that section just a little bit darker. Like that. And then for her hair, I'm going to use E44, and I didn't do anything fancy. I'm just going to color it in. She doesn't have very much hair showing there. And I think I'll do a little dab again across the bottom of her hat so it's just a little bit darker. Let's do her hat next. For that I'm going to use E31 and E30. So let's go up here in her hat, and I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow coming away from that little bow and along the ribbon here. So just a small dab at top of that. And then let's do right on the back of the ribbon. And then on this side of the ribbon, I'm going to give it a little dab, and underneath, again, the ribbon on this side. And I'm going to bring this out just a little bit more. And then right here, it looks like it's kind of dipping in. So I'm going to do a little line here, and then I'm going to flick away from my line and give it a little bit of a shadow in there. And then also, let's do underneath the hat brim, here on the inside of her hat. Okay, and then I'm going to do with E30 next, and I'm going to touch down on top of my E31 and then just brush out across the rest of the white space for my hat. And I got a little bit of a line there still, so I'm going to go back over it. Let's just soften that just a little bit more back here. And then I think I'll go just one more time with my E31. I'll grab E31 and just do another little coat. And then again with my E30 over the top. let's do her apron next. For that, I'm going to use W1 and W00. And let's start up here on the straps of her apron. And I'm going to do just a little dab of my W1 on each side. And then let's do right here where it's coming away from this strap, and a little dab where she's bent over. And then let's do, I want to go down the line of the back of the apron and connect it with that one. And then here's another line, so I'm going to go ahead and go down the back of that line, clear down here to the bottom, and then I'm going to pick another section that's got lines in there, and then I'm going to just fill that little dab in. And here's a little spot, and then do a little bit there, and here's a little wrinkle along the inside of this. And this is the bottom side, so I'm going to color that in. And then I'm also going to do the bottom side over here, because this is part of the apron that's drooping over. That. And then I'm going to take my W00 and just fill in the rest. So I make sure to touch down on top of my previous color. And for the apron here with this wide section, I'm just going to brush along the edge of my W1, but I'm not going to fill it all the way in. I'm going to leave it white out here on the edge. There's a little bit of line here, so I'm going to go back over a couple little spaces. For the bow in her hat and her dress, we're going to use R21 and R20. Let's start up here at our bow and our hat. I'm going to do my R21 first. I'm just going to do a little bit right next to where the bow is touching the ribbon there. And then let's do a little bit in the center of each of these little cute sections. Like that. And then we'll do the little ribbon that's coming away from her hat. And I'm going to do a little bit down here on the bottom, and then I'm going to grab R20 and I'm going to fill that in. So touch down on top of your R21 and then pull out into the white space. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of white here at the edges of my bow. And then for our dress, again, we're going to start with R21, and I'm going to fill in this little section here behind her neck. And then let's do this bottom sleeve. And then this sleeve, and I'm going to come up here underneath of the strap from her apron. And then let's flick up from the bottom of this sleeve. And then I'm going to grab R20. I'm going to fill that in. And then we're going to grab R21 again. Now let's go over here, and we're going to add a few little streaks. Come down and away from her body. And then let's bring it right next to this section of her dress. And then for this section right here, go down and then bring it right next to the apron. And then I want to come up from the bottom too, so let's go ahead and flick up and away from the bottom of my dress. And then I want to give it a couple of little curves. So I'm going to bring this up, that, and let's get one right here. And then I'm going to grab R20, and I just want to fill in that white space. Down there. Okay, now I'm going to grab my R21 again, and I just want to darken up those shaded areas. So come down like this, come in here, and the bottom side of the dress is showing right there. And then I'm going going to take my R20 one more time and just lightly go over the edges. For the watering can, let's use C3 and C0. Let's start right here with our C3 on this little spout. And then we're going to use a little bit here where it's coming away from our can. And then I also want to flick up on both edges of my can. And then away from this side. And then I want to do the bottom of my can all the way. Then I'm going to grab C0 to fill it in. And I'm going to come back again with my C3. And I'm going to tip my pen up a little bit more so I can get little skinny streaks and just streak those lines in just a little bit more from this side. And then we'll go over it again with our C0. For the flower, I'm going to use R85 and R81. I'm going to start with R85, and I'm just going to go away from the center of my flower and flick up and give it a little bit of color in the center. Like that. And then I'm going to take R81 and go right up. And I think, again, I'm going to leave a little bit of white on the edges of this flower. You don't have to. You could fill it all the way in. And then I just left the center of the flower white. So now she needs something to stand on, so let's use G24 and G21 to give her some grass. And I'm going to go over here underneath the flower first. And I'm just going to flick a few little lines across the flower there. And then let's go over here underneath her foot. And I'm going to be careful not to paint her foot green. And I'm going to bring this color out just a little bit past her skirt there. I'm going to bring this out. And then let's also do a little bit under here underneath the apron. And I want to bring it out over here just a little bit. And let's go above that little tip there of her apron a little bit more. And then I'm going to grab G21, and I just want to add a little bit more to soften it on the edges. So let's do up here. And be careful not to color her foot. And then I'm going to go back and just add a little bit more shadow with my G24. So a little bit underneath of her plant, and a little bit underneath of her skirt, and then on her foot. So there is our beautiful Grown with Love image all colored up. Didn't she turn out pretty? I tried to keep it simple this week by only using a couple of colors for each section. So in case you don't have a ton of Copics, you could see that you can get great results with just using a couple colors. If you want to see my finished card, I will put that on the blog on Saturday following the Color Wednesday post. Otherwise, I hope you had fun coloring with me. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.